The Impact World Championship on the line here in the main event of Bound for Glory. Josh Alexander defends against Eddie Edwards. Despite the war of words between these two men with very similar paths here in Impact Wrestling, both debuted in record-breaking tag teams, moved on to become X Division champion. Both tried to use Option C to win their first world titles, certainly encountered their own roadblocks along the way. Both two-time Impact World champions, and both have had a claim to being the heart and soul of Impact Wrestling.
Two very, very similar careers, but turning into two very different people. Tom, I'm a big fan of symbology, iconography. And there's something about what the two men are even wearing. Josh Alexander draped in Bound for Glory blue, representing this company down to its very core. Meanwhile, Eddie Edwards highlighted in red the flames of war, a war he's been waging on Impact Wrestling for months and months.
The official separates the two before the count of 5. Already a little contentious between Alexander and Edwards. I can only imagine having their families at ringside, sitting so close together, what they may have stirred up in the minds of both Alexander and Edwards.
Well, for Josh Alexander, both Jen and Jet have been there every step of the way, very supportive from moment one. We've seen a lot of them here at Impact Wrestling. They feel like a part of our family, and of course, so is Alicia, but all the tension between Eddie Edwards and Alicia Edwards has made it very strange in that household. So this is a different scenario for Eddie Edwards, whereas it might give the advantage to Josh.
The one thing we saw at Victory Road in the 6-man tag team matchup in which Eddie Edwards did pin Josh Alexander, the first man to do so in about a year here in Impact Wrestling. That night, Eddie Edwards hit the Die Hard Flosion. That is a move that Eddie Edwards has used, a variation of his Die Hard driver. He used it to win the Impact World Championship in 2020, and he also used it to win the GHC heavyweight title in Pro Wrestling Noah once upon a time.
I have to imagine he's looking to hit that again here tonight. If it worked before, it very well might work again.
Alexander just dumped Edwards.
And this was a catch-style wrestling contest up until that moment there. Eddie Edwards sticking into the craw of Josh Alexander and sticking his fingers in the face of the walking weapon.
Alexander firm control of the challenger Eddie Edwards here in our main event.
Let's not forget, Honor No More's already had a successful start to their night. Taven and Bennett retaining the Impact World Tag Team titles. Can Edwards bring home the World Championship?
Oh, and look at Edwards just throw off Alexander's game a bit.
Well, actually, it was Alexander there who countered Eddie, who was trying to counter Josh. They are getting in each other's heads. Two wrestlers at the top of their game. I believe it was Edwards who was going to try to bounce off the rope behind Alexander. Alexander saw it coming. This is a chess match if there ever was one.
Oh! Edwards gets enough of Alexander there and dumps him outside the ring. And look at Alexander climb back inside. He wants to do this the right way, in the ring.
I was going to have to say, this has been a pretty solid wrestling contest so far. You had to imagine Eddie Edwards was going to want to maybe drag it down in the dirt a little bit, fight his way. But Alexander want to keep this one in the center of the canvas.
Count of 5 here on Eddie Edwards, has to the count of 10 to get back into the ring. Right now, this is Edwards just taking his time.
He's going to take his time. He's going to make this match on his time.
Count of 7. Just messing with a fan.
Hey, the leader of Honor No More, proven
count
he
of
can
9.
be a mastermind of any kind. Get in the head of anybody, his opponent included.
And the official was dealing with Josh Alexander in the ring, who was saying, Eddie, get back into the ring.
And once again, we find ourselves in the middle of the ring. But you have to wonder, is Eddie Edwards going to want to drag this one on the outside again? Will that be the game plan of the leader of Honor No More here?
Eddie Edwards taking Alexander off his feet. Head scissor here by Alexander. Great job dropping Edwards, and once again assumes control of the left arm.
You saw there as soon as Eddie Edwards brought Josh Alexander over in that headlock takeover, immediately that kick out. Alexander is a step ahead when it comes to the wrestling game here. Got to give the walking weapon that.
Oh, and a back elbow by Eddie Edwards.
Another one collapsing Alexander into the ropes, and now Alexander finally driven to the floor.
Eddie Edwards in his 9th Bound for Glory matchup, taking his time here in this main event.
And with the champ out on the floor, Eddie Edwards may get his wish. He may get the fight he wants.
Waiting for the right opportunity here. Oh, launches himself at Alexander.
That slingshot crossbody, and now both athletes, both wrestlers out on the floor.
Take another look here as Eddie Edwards staring down his family. Oh. Levels Josh Alexander. Oh!
An eye to Alicia and his family. She said either this ends or we do. In Eddie Edwards' mind, he has to imagine if he can accomplish this here tonight, bring that world championship to Honor No More, bring it home, that is ending this. Ending it where he wants this war to end.
Alexander tossed back inside the ring. Oh, and using the top rope to his advantage.
And the champ taking off here.
Oh, crossbody to the spine. Jen and Jet looking on. Same with Alicia and Aislinn. Watch this one more time. Boom, classic offense from Josh Alexander.
Josh Alexander, if you ask me, had a little extra stink on that one tonight. He knows what's on the line. Throwing a little extra force behind that crossbody and every single one of these chops as well.
And you can see the difference. Alexander is waving at his family. It's a strength. Meanwhile, Eddie Edwards, it's a vulnerability. Certainly coming into this match. He's feeling that pressure. Here's the cover to retain the championship out at 1.
It's a tenuous relationship for sure. You have to admit he feels like he has something to prove to his wife, to his family. Josh Alexander doesn't have that. They have that unfettered support. Eddie Edwards has something to prove to them.
Eddie Edwards taking this time, wants to make it a grueling pace for Alexander. Comes back with some forearm shivers. Alexander through the ropes. Edwards able to sidestep him on the move. Look out, Eddie Edwards flattens the champion.
Eddie took firm advantage here, flying through the ropes, putting his body on the line to take out his competitor, bring him closer to the Impact World Championship.
Champion's advantage, of course, to Josh Alexander. Title can only change hands via pinfall or submission in the ring, not via countout or disqualification. Eddie Edwards is smart. He knows to use the outside of the ring to, oh my God.
You're right, Tom. Eddie Edwards is smart. And he's pulling up this floor pad, exposing the wood underneath. It makes him a certified genius. It's not illegal. It's just exposing what's underneath, which is what Eddie Edwards has been doing for the better part of the last year, exposing the rot that is underneath in Impact Wrestling. Just ask him, he'll tell you.
Here in the Washington Avenue Armory in Albany, that is a hardwood floor. Oh my God.
Could be looking to set up.
Die-hard driver, maybe die-hard flosion here on the outside, and the official trying to get control of this situation, showing a lot of leniency here. Obviously, it is the main event of Bound for Glory, the Impact World title on the line.
Right, we want a definitive finish to this one. We want no question marks left at the end of this.
Him and Alexander. Oh! Dives out of the ring, and that was critical.
Let's take a look at this. The walking weapon using his own body as a weapon to take out Eddie Edwards.
putting himself in harm's way. And listen, Eddie Edwards looked like he had Josh Alexander in a really bad way on the opposite side of the ring. Alexander found a way out in a hurry.
Often you see the walking weapon become a flying weapon, but that's what he's willing to do to hold on to the Impact World Championship. That's what he's willing to do to stand up for Impact Wrestling.
And Eddie Edwards rolls outside the ropes. Very smart. Knows that the match cannot end the position Edwards is in. The official's still trying to control Alexander and Edwards.
Edwards smart there, getting to the apron. He knows the match can't finish out here now.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Look at Alexander trying to turn this around on Edwards.
Wants to introduce Edwards to that hardwood floor in gnarly fashion.
Oh. Edwards able to fight off Alexander. Oh, precarious situation here along the apron. Oh, and Edwards down hard.
I was going to say they're still not out of no man's land yet here on the apron.
Oh.
Swift kick to the leg of Alexander.
Oh, no, not this, not this.
Wait. You got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. Oh, my God.
Die-hard driver onto the exposed hardwood floor.
Take a look again. Boom! Right onto the hardwood floor of the building here. Listen to the thud as the walking weapon crashes to the floor.
Remember, Josh Alexander has had his neck surgically repaired twice. His career nearly ended the second time. How much damage has been done to the neck of Alexander?
And Eddie Edwards knows that fact very, very well, using it to his advantage here. And even if Josh Alexander does get up from this, even if Josh Alexander does get back in the ring, how much is going to be left after that devastation?
And Eddie Edwards, at about the count of 5, rolls outside the ring, resets the 10 count, knows he's got to get Alexander back inside the ring. Has the damage been done? Is Alexander's championship reign about to end? Here's the cover and a kick out by Alexander.
Somehow, Josh Alexander stays in it, had just enough breathing time, recovery to get his shoulder up. But now, the shark smells blood.
And look at the face of Alexander. He is in pain. Oh my God, he was just trying to lift his leg. He couldn't do it.
Eddie Edwards saw that, stopped short, and continues his assault here.
But listen, you got to think about the long-term damage that Josh Alexander may have sustained there on the outside. I mean, this is a nerve issue. He can't even lift his leg.
You're right. Josh Alexander does have to think about that. He has to think about what he's willing to do to stay in this one.
Backpack stunner goes back to the neck. Here's the cover to win the title kick out. Oh, what a transition.
Beautiful float over into that single leg Boston Crab from Eddie Edwards.
Can Eddie Edwards win the Impact World Championship by submission against Josh Alexander? And Alexander gets to the ropes.
He desperately needed to as well. The barrage of offense onto the neck and spine. Look at this. The backpack stunner, which led to the kick out, which immediately turns into the Boston Crab. The damage never stopping.
Compressing the spine with a backpack stunner and then immediately bending and contorting the spine there. This is a methodical, sadistic attack.
You took the words out of my mouth. The diehard driver on the floor, the stunner, the Boston Crab, all head, neck, spine. Even if Josh Alexander makes it out of this, he is going to be a changed man after this one.
Now Alexander just trying to continue on here in this matchup. Blows right by Edwards. Oh, he's caught. Driven down. Powerbomb there by Edwards. Is it time for a tiger driver?
Not today.
Oh, a running Alabama slam. Neck first into the turnbuckle goes Edwards.
Alexander repaying the favor here. Take a look. That running extra momentum into the corner there.
The head of Eddie Edwards bounced off the top turnbuckle.
Just snapped into the corner there. Josh Alexander trying to pay back Eddie Edwards in kind for the damage done.
This is our main event tonight here in Albany, New York. It's our biggest event of the year, bound for glory. Eddie Edwards challenging Josh Alexander for the Impact World Championship. The war that we expected has been realized.
And it has been well fought. Hard fought so far, and it's not done yet.
Oh! Elbow right to the head and neck. German suplex!
But not letting go. The grip stays strong for the world champion.
Alexander holds on.
And so does Edwards, grabbing onto those ropes for dear life. Once again, bringing things to the outside where he knows the finish cannot happen, the decision cannot happen.
Onto the hardest part of the ring. Somehow Alexander held on.
Still letting go the absolute unreal tenaciousness of Josh Alexander.
Another!
In the ring, on the apron, on the floor. The walking weapon is a madman.
He's not done. He's not done.
No way.
Onto the ramp. Edwards trying to get back up to his feet. Alexander going to a nasty place in his mind. Knows what he has to do to put away Edwards.
Taking the fight to Edwards here. Sending the spin.
Oh!
My God!
Backbreaker to retain. Edwards is still alive.
The assault on the spine of Eddie Edwards. Take a look at this. Watch the way Eddie bends over the knee of the champion.
But somehow Edwards sticks around in this battle.
Both wrestlers have had their spines and necks battered and bruised throughout this entire war.
Oh, could it be time? Think about the C4 spike and look at Edwards drop his hips.
Smart move, you know. That's how Josh Alexander's going to want to put this one away.
Oh! Forearm shot there. Blue Thunder Bomb! Cover to win the title kick out!
Beautiful use of the momentum by Eddie Edwards here. Take a look. The Blue Thunder, dead center of the ring, but the champ stays in it.
Chance once again, and this is awesome tonight here in Albany. Edwards has exposed the knee, however. Thinking about the Boston knee party caught.
Well, Alexander, the strength of the champion on full display.
Oh boy! Styles clash!
And immediately grabbing onto the ankle of Eddie Edwards. The ankle lock is locked in. Dead center of the ring. Could this be it?
Is Edwards going to submit? Josh Alexander with the ankle lock.
A salute to Impact's past on its way to representing the future, but Eddie Edwards wiggles free of this one.
Edwards had an answer for the ankle lock. One more look here moments ago, talking about Impact Wrestling's past. One out of the book of the phenomenal one, AJ Styles, but then this shades of the Hall of Famer, Kurt Angle with the ankle lock.
Now Josh Alexander one more time finds himself struggling, climbing in from the outside of the ring to get himself back into this one.
Alexander up to the top. Whoa! And security there. That slows down Alexander. Dangerous.
Right upside the temple there, Tom. Alexander looking a little wobbly.
Oh.
That open palm across the face and neck. Good God! Echoing against the very walls of the Washington Avenue Armory here in Albany. Reverberating throughout the arena.
Oh my God.
And all the way up to... You gotta be kidding me!
Held on! Edwards held on! Oh my God! What a counter! What a counter! C4 spike!
That's gotta be!
Cover! this match won. Now Taven and Bennett, the referee's down.
Honor No More wants to ensure that this night, that this war ends in their favor, but the champion stands ever defiant of letting that happen.
Oh, it's Kenny King with a low blow.
When one door closes, another opens. With the tag champions dispatched, Kenny King struck.
And security is now trying to drive the rest of Honor No More out of here. And I believe that's the second official that I just saw.
But the question, Tom, is has the damage been done?
There is a second official in the ring now.
So this will continue. Eddie Edwards has it lined up.
Boston Knee Party.
He got him.
It's an Edwards moment. Oh, and a kick out. What? Alexander hangs on.
How did Josh Alexander kick out of that?
Watch this one more time. Honor No More being ushered out of the building. The second official all over this. And Alexander hangs on.
Not just a Boston Knee Party, the low blow prior to set all of that up from Kenny King. And the walking weapon lives up to his name.
Oh, now Edwards continues the assault on the world champion.
Both men battered, both men bruised, and now looking for the die-hard driver. No!
Quickly with the elbow strikes. Oh, turn Edwards inside out.
A picture-perfect half and half executed by Josh Alexander. And this deep into a contest like this, that is no easy feat. The heart and soul of Impact Wrestling on the line. The champ wants to keep the title in the home camp.
Boot right to the face, Alexander. Oh, wait a minute.
Catching the leg. Ankle lock caught up here. They're gonna have to break this, but that's a great way to get some damage done.
Oh, and a knee by Edwards.
Oh, Jesus, right to the chin of Josh Alexander. And there's the Tiger Driver. That's it.
Is it time for Edwards now? A kick out by Alexander.
How is Alexander staying in this one? How?
The involvement of Honor No More. A second referee having to get involved. A low blow by Kenny King. And the continued assault of Eddie Edwards. Somehow, Josh Alexander's still in it, bloodied and battered.
Now let's not forget the die-hard driver on the exposed wood floor.
Alexander literally in a pool of his own blood.
That kick earlier from Eddie Edwards must have busted the champ's nose. And it can be a dangerous thing when you start to see your own blood in a wrestling match.
Alexander back up to his feet. Oh, but for how much longer?
Josh Alexander talks about living, breathing, and quite literally bleeding Impact Wrestling. He's proving that beyond a shadow of a doubt here tonight.
Look at the eyes of Alexander. Oh.
Alexander not giving an inch to the leader of Honor No More, despite everything thrown in his direction.
Champion and challenger pulverizing each other in the main event.
The Bulls are locking horns, throwing blows back and forth here.
Clubbing blows.
Neither one of them wants to give an inch, wants to give way. Everything on the line for both of them. The message, the movement for Eddie Edwards. The championship, his existence here at Impact Wrestling for Josh Alexander.
Alexander continues to battle back. Alexander defiant in the face of Eddie Edwards, who spits into the face of the champion.
much like he's spit in the face of Impact Wrestling willingly, time and time again, and the champ is firing up and firing back!
Look at Alexander go! Hammering away on Edwards! Oh! A quick strike to that busted nose!
Quick jab.
Oh!
Oh, but just like that!
Well, went for the C4 spike. Edwards rolled through, shoulders down. Alexander kicked out.
Tried to get a quick one on Alexander there, not to be.
Oh, and a clothesline. Alexander goes down.
That sickening thud across the collarbone of Josh Alexander.
Going for another Boston knee party. Cold cocked by Alexander.
Oh, and another one.
Following it up. C4 spike.
He got him. Finally.
Josh Alexander. There's the heart. There's the soul of Impact Wrestling.